Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining. You can publish the mastermind class. This is actually a mini mastermind, and we're going to be kind of quick, but I want to be able to give some tips. I want to be able to give some writing things, some things you can do to get started writing or to continue writing or to go ahead and publish your masterpiece. And so I first want to start off with, I guess I should explain who I am. I am Nina Addison, aka Nina Motivates, the You Can specialist, why I teach you to write books and publish them, not just write them, but publish them. I teach you how to have effective communication with the special needs, aka disability community, as well as I teach you how to live out your life, the God-given life that He has given you, because He's given all of us a purpose. And I believe Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So whatever is holding you back, we got to remove those limits, live a limitless life because we serve a limitless God. So I want to get started with what writing a book does for you. What a lot of people get stuck at is how to and things like that. But I think when you really understand what a book does for you and the doors that books open for you in more ways than one, then it's like, oh no, I got to get out of my own way. The first thing that I love to talk about is how it creates a legacy for you, your children's children, your grandchildren's children, and if you're like, well, I don't have children and I don't plan on having children, guess what? You are able to still leave a legacy so that your name is echoed on. We think about the greatest book ever written, which is the Bible, and how we are still reading about those people in the Bible all these thousands and thousands of years later. And you can think about some of your favorite books that you have to read, whether it was had to read in school or even read now, or things that you like to read. They were written by someone, and that person's legacy goes on to generations of other people's family. It may be some books that you have and say, hey, I like this book. I want to pass it down to my children. And that person may not have had children, but look, you're passing down their legacy. And so it is a legacy creator, and we all were created to leave a legacy for future generations. Not only does it help you create legacies, writing a book is healing. If you've dealt with something in life, you don't know who you can help heal. Yes, it's healing for yourself, but also we write books for other people, to help other people, to build other people, to strengthen other people. And writing a book can do that for someone else. If you're writing a book talking about some experiences that you've had, someone else needs to know how to get through those experiences. If you're writing a book talking about how to do something, someone else needs to know how to do it. And so don't think that, oh, these are my words. Who's going to read my book? You don't know who's going to read your book, but I guarantee you that some people will read your book. Your book won't just sit on the shelf and collect dust. And especially now with technology, you have ebooks, you have audio books, you have so many variations of books that even a person who can't see can still read your book through the audio book. So there's so many different things and different ways you can do it. And don't feel like, see, let me share something about myself. I took English with support, y'all. I never thought I would be an author, let alone teach people how to publish books. Never thought I would do anything like that. Why? Because I took English with support. But there are people and places that can help you where you need help at. What you feel you don't have, you have, and you may not know you have it. Even if it's not within you, God has put somebody else on this earth who can do what you feel you lack the knowledge of doing. For example, I have editors. I have a Rolodex of editors that I can call on to go over my writing, to go over my clients' writing, and to make sure that the sentence structure is perfect, the grammar is structured perfect. Why? Because often when we type, we write sometimes how we talk, and that's kind of not how we're supposed to publish books. But that's why we have editors to come and clean up the way we talk and to make sure that all of our dots are in the right places and our punctuations are correct and the sentence structure is correct, the paragraph makes sense, and even the topics of our paragraph, our chapters. Because sometimes people be like, oh, I was supposed to title my chapters. Absolutely. But if you need help in those areas, trust me, there's somebody for every aspect of your book. I could go on and on and on as to why you should write a book, but that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason for this time. But I hope I've convinced you that you need to write a book, and it's something in you that definitely needs to come out. Now I'm going to give you 13 steps that I use and I teach, and that's in my publishing manual that I am putting out this month that can help you with the process of publishing a book. First, of course, you have to decide to become an author. Not say, I want to become an author. You have to decide and say, you know what, 2025, I'm an author. I am an author. Speak those things that are not as though they were and make it become what it needs to become. Write the vision and make it plain, right? And so we want to start changing our language. I'm an author. And there's so many different ways you could become an author, from book collaborations. So that's another way. If you say, I'm not ready to write a full book, you could join a book collaboration, and I will share. This will be the first time I'm publicly sharing with the world about the book collaboration opportunities that I have for you this year. You could write a book that way and become an instant author, is what I like to call it. Or you can say, I'm gonna stop playing games, and I know I got this book or books with an S in me that I need to put out to the world, and I'm ready to do that. So this is the year that book number 1, 2, or 3 will be published. After you decide, you immediately need to grab pen and paper, grab your phone, grab your notebook, grab your email, and begin writing. Well, Nina, what do you mean begin writing? I don't know where to start. Write what you know. If you know, you have to know what you want your book to be about. Let's say that. You have to know what you want your book to be about. Do you have to know every single thing when you start writing? No. But you want to make sure you're writing about something that you know about. I cook, I cook good for my family, but I'm not a chef and I don't desire to write a cookbook. I'm not going to write a cookbook because I may miss some steps, some professional steps, because I didn't go to school for culinary, nor do I want to study that even through YouTube University, which is what a lot of us go to now. So I wouldn't write about a cookbook. I wouldn't write about how to be a nurse because I run from needles. Okay. I love what nurses do. And I love how they are able to be there when a family member can't be there. They're that source and that person. I wanted to be a nurse just for that. But I know I run from needles. That ain't for me. That's not for me. But I have another opportunity to help people in this way. And so I wouldn't write a book about how to be a good nurse or anything. But nurses, if you are a nurse, you can write a book about that. Hint, hint, whatever field you're in, whatever it is that you're doing, the book will make you an expert in your field. Okay. So that's why I say you can write a book about anything. Everybody has experienced something that somebody else has experienced or is experiencing, and they may want to know how to get through that. So you start writing down what you know, everything you know about what it is that you want to write about. You can jot down notes. There's no correct way. You do not have to have a set standard. Some people say, well, I need to write an outline first. If that's your writing style, there are different writing styles. You may be a person that needs an outline first. Okay, these are the 7 chapters that I want to write about. Do not limit yourself though. Even though you have an outline, I have a client I just finished with. I only want 9 chapters and I only want my book to be 120 pages. And I had to tell her in day 1, that's great. And that's what you have written down. But if it exceeds 120 pages, if it exceeds 7 chapters, don't you dare stop what God is doing. That's what you want. But you want to move in the way that God is putting you to move in, because you may miss something if you don't. And so you want to write until you're done writing. If you need an outline, draft your outline first. If you're anything like me, I just like to sit at the computer and write. That's the best way I do it. And so you can do that. Do you have to write in order? No. You have to write until it's complete. So if you write chapter 1 today and chapter 6 tomorrow and chapter 4 to the next day, that's fine. Because once you draft your first draft, you're going to then go back and reread it and organize it the way you want it to be. Usually, even if you have an outline, you still go back and reread and make sure it's exactly how you want it to be. Are things going to change? Maybe, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up when you decide or God decides that something needs to move somewhere else. And if you have a good editor, if you use a good editor, they may give you some suggestions as to, hey, you should move this here, move that there, expand upon this a little bit more. And you can also book coaching sessions. Some people like to hire a coach during their book writing process. And that coach can guide you through reading through chapters, making sure you're not missing things, asking you questions to pull more things out of you. Those are just some things that a coach does with you or you can expect from a coach if you decide to hire one. So knowing what you want to write about and beginning to write is the next 2 steps. So you're going to decide we're going to become an author. We're going to decide what we're going to write about, know your genre. So if you are going to write a children's book, what age children's book? Are you writing for infants? Are you writing for 1 to 3 year olds? Are you writing for 4 to 7 year olds? Are you writing for 7 to 11, 8 to 12? You want to know what age group you're writing for because you want to make sure that the language you use is appropriate. If you're writing an adult book, you may not use cat in a hat type of language, okay? If you are writing a children's book, you're probably not going to be using onomatopoeia in the book because you want them to be able to read it and understand it and grasp it, okay? So you want to make sure whatever genre you're writing for, that you know the type of language to use. Google is going to be your best friend, okay? And the reason why I say Google is going to be your best friend because you may want to Google colors good for a book cover. You may want to Google words that should be used in a children's book or an adult's book or in a self-help book that focus on this or that. So you have that. And then now we have all of the little AI tools such as ChatGPT and different things. Now, people write full books through ChatGPT. I don't recommend it. Let me tell you why. I go there for ideas. I do. But I want to get credit for my writing. Yes, I do. But it has helped with removing the writer's block syndrome. Yes, it has. Why? Because you can easily go to ChatGPT and type in an idea or give me suggestions or this and that, and it will give you suggestions. And so I use AI only for what I need, not for everything, because I love human beings. So I am an advocate for us being humans and staying humans, okay? But I also know that we must grow with the time and we can get some ideas from there. So now, yeah, open AI. I think I don't know if open AI and Chat GPT is the exact same. I'm still learning all of this stuff and slowly and surely. Disclaimer, I watched iRobot a long time ago and I'd be like, technology cannot take over the world. So y'all don't laugh at me. But I go to chatgpt.com. But I think it may be the same thing as OpenAI, but there's so many different versions of it. I just stick with the chat GPT. But yeah, so blame iRobot on me being cautious with things. And I just like people with souls, and we have souls, right? Okay, let me stay focused, right? Let me stay focused. Y'all, I'm listening to the chat. If you watch this on the replay and you see me hearing me say different things, that's because I'm watching it on the replay. I mean, because I'm watching the chat too. So after you are writing, while you are writing, create a release plan. Now, I'm going to give you a few little tips from this, but I have to save some stuff for the people who do my full mastermind. But begin with the end in mind. Create the date that you're going to release your book. Because if you have a date, if you know your birthday coming up, say you finna turn 30, you're going to probably say, oh, that's a milestone. I know my birthday is in 7 months. So I'm going to plan effectively for that date. Do the same thing with your book and your book launch. I want to release and launch my book on August 1st, 2025. All right, since I have that release date, now I got to hold myself to making sure that I have books in hand on August 1st, 2025. I always recommend that you have if you know in August you're going to have your book released, then by May, you should have your draft complete. Why? Because that gives you 3 months to get it edited, go over the editing, get it re-edited if you need to, get your book formatted, make sure you have your book cover done. I always say, once your book go into edit mode, you should have your book cover done. You should get certain things like your ISBN and barcode. And don't just go to Google buy no ISBN and barcode. Go to myidentifiers.com and buy your barcode and your ISBN, because to me, they are the Social Security office and your ISBN is your Social Security number to your book. Okay? That's how you got to look at it. And yes, you can use Amazon free ISBN or Ingram Sparks free ISBN or even Lulu free ISBN. But when you purchase your own ISBN, you own the ISBN, which means you own all of everything to your book. Okay? So that's how I look at it. And that's why I recommend that you go and you purchase your own. I need to find out if my identifiers allow you to get affiliates, because I'm always telling people go there, because that is like the Social Security Board. Even if you look it up, and you could also do your copyrights right there. Speaking of copyrights, I'm giving away a lot of good tips, y'all. I hope y'all catching this. If you're finding this helpful, make sure you let me know. You can also do your copyrights on myidentifiers.com. Well, you don't want to do your copyrights until after you have your trial copy in your hand. Well, Nina, why? Because when you copyright your stuff, that's your work. And if you change something at any part of your process of your writing and editing phase, you you're gonna have to do your copyrights all over again. Now, there are some people that say, hey, once my book is published, this is my copyrights. That's your business. But if you want to, which I recommend, you getting the actual government copyrights done, you could do that through myidentifiers.com as well. And boom, you have your copyrights, you have your ISBN and barcode. Those are the main things that you need to purchase for your books. I hire a graphic designer. Yes, you can use Fiverr, Fiverr.com for as an inexpensive way to get a book cover done. You can also use Canva. You can go to Amazon or any place. If you know how many pages your book is approximately, you can go and have them to tell you the dimensions that your book cover needs to be. Now, if you're taking my class, I have a You Can Publish master class that has approximately 15 modules, and I actually do one where I show you how to go to the website, how to find it, but you can Google book cover calculator on Google, and it'll pop up Amazon and all the other ones where you can click on it and put all your information in for your book, and then it will tell you what size your book cover should be in. You're gonna get your book cover in a JPEG as well as a PDF, because when you're uploading your book to any website for print, you have to upload the PDF version. PDF version. I know I'm giving a whole lot of information. That's why I'm recording this, and that's why I'm uploading it, because even I feel like I'm giving away some stuff and I need to take notes myself. I get off. You see it off the top of my head because I teach this all the time. But I want to make sure that I give you all as much free stuff as I can give you in this time period and just the steps. So right now we're at step number 7. We're going to talk about formatting your book. So we talked about deciding to become an author, deciding what you want to write about, begin writing, creating your release plan. And that's where we kind of was, because I kind of went to the ISBN and barcode before I went to creating your release plan. But again, in your release plan, you set your date. You know you want your draft done at least 3 months before the book release, so you can have at least 2 weeks to a month to get it edited, because you don't know the how long it's going to take your editor to edit it. Depending on how big it is, it may take them a little more time. Then you want time to get it back. You want time to format it. You want time to order you a trial copy, and you want to order your bulk copy at least 3 weeks before your release date. Why? Because you never know if if it's dealing with Amazon or anything else, anywhere else. Sometimes they take a little bit longer to ship your books off, and you want your books in time with no problem. I say at least a month ahead, but if you can't order a month ahead, at least 3 weeks ahead, right? And so that's kind of like how you plan out your release plan. Now, can you start today and publish a book by the end of the month? Absolutely. I'm one of the people that sometimes wake up and say, oh, I want to publish a book, and to do it. Once you start publishing books, it becomes easy, and it becomes addictive a little bit, a good addiction, and it becomes a little bit of a habit. And so after you create a release plan, if you're going to do your book cover yourself, feel free. I just gave you some options, and or you can hire a graphic designer. I prefer to get mine done professionally. That's me, because again, I wouldn't write a book about being a graphic designer, because that's not my area. But I have some people that I know that that's their area, and they can absolutely write books about that. And so it's up to you if you want to do it yourself. And also, if you're using places like, can you publish a book on a shoestring budget? Yep, you can publish a book on a shoestring budget. Amazon has it where you can put your book on there for free. You can use their ISBN, you can use their simple cover creator, and they'll let you choose and put a picture in and your words in, and they'll do all of that. But they'll also have some rights to your book too. And so I'm the one I want all my rights and all my everything. But if you're someone that's like, I want to just get it done and get my first book out there, you can absolutely use one of the sites. And the three sites that I'm sending out to that I'm recommended today, of course, Amazon is easy. Ingram Sparks, I think that's becoming my favorite one. And then Lulu, actually Lulu, I think is my second favorite, and then Amazon. If you publish through Ingram Sparks or Lulu, it's going to automatically go to Amazon anyway. And I believe you keep more of your royalties when you use Ingram Sparks than anything. Lulu, I don't remember the numbers, but Amazon is like a 40-60 split or a 70-30 split. It's different depending on the price of your books as well, depending on what you choose, especially if you're doing like an ebook and different things like that. So the next thing you need to know, formatting your book. When you're formatting your book, I like to use Microsoft Word. That's like the easiest for me. And I put it in a 6x9 format and I justify it. I break up the chapters. Now you can get fancy with the letters and this and that. Like at the start of each chapter, you absolutely can get fancy smancy. Or some people just like to keep it simple. Some people like to have graphic designers to create some graphics or do some pictures to put in their book. You have creative freedom. And I always recommend that you look at some books, look at the covers, look at the inside, look at the styles that you like, because you don't have to recreate the wheel. All you have to do is find which wheel you like and then take some suggestions and make it your own. You still want to make it your own when you are designing your books and the things that you want. Then you always want to pre-sale. I like to do pre-sales and offer a little discount before my book is released because it helps me to make money from my books before I even get the books, but I take all of the money that I make from pre-sales and buy books. So say the book that I'm coming out with, so say my publishing book, that publishing book is going to be $50. It's going to be $49.99 on I'm putting it on Ingram Sparks, and that's where it's going to be printed through. But I'm doing a pre-sale right now for $30. So people is getting $20 off. Not only are they getting $20 off, but they're able to pre-sale the book now so that when I order books, I'm using every bit of the $30 that people pay for it. Because in this publishing manual, I'm giving away every single thing that I'm talking about here and more. Actually, I'm reading from one of the pages. This is just one of the pages that I'm reading from the book. And this is all the information in detail is in this publishing manual. And so because I'm giving away all of my stuff and you could actually take this manual and go and publish a book with no help pretty much, then I know it's worth way more than $49.99, but that's what I'm charging. But as a discount for pre-sales, I'm charging $30 and that includes shipping. So when people feel like they're getting a deal, most of the time they're gonna jump on it. And so not only are you getting a deal, you get to get the book as soon as it comes out, and I get to raise money to go and purchase the books without coming out of my own pocket to stock books in my house. You get it? And so you're able to do that with the pre-sales, and then you already have customers. Okay. Don't think nobody's gonna buy your book. I always tell people, if you think ain't nobody gonna buy your book, reach out to me. I will buy your book to prove to you that somebody gonna buy your book. Um, and then you never want to stop marketing your book. Your book is supposed to be known before it comes out. As you are even in the writing phase, you want to ask questions on Facebook. Like, for example, if you are writing a book for teen girls who are trying to find their identity. And so I have a chapter in my first book called Identity Theft Return. I'm gonna just use that as an example. No, I don't want to use that as an example. Y'all, I'm coming off the top of my head. Say you title the book, "Hey Girl, Do You Know Who You Are?" And you're in this book talking about the puberty phase and finding your identity and society today, peer pressure. Say you're talking about all these different things. Excuse me. Now, y'all, I may end up coming out with a book about this now since I'm actually thinking about it like, oh, that sounds interesting. Hey, girl, do you know who you are? Oh, I like that. But I told y'all, I think about books off the top of my head at any given moment. But I would start asking questions on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, like whatever your platform is, TikTok, whatever your platform is. I would ask questions like, how many people out there have teenage daughters that's trying to find their identity? What are some things they struggle with? Like I would be asking these questions, and then I would have a notebook with me and start writing down what people are saying and writing down the names of the people who are commenting. Because as I begin to share more things, and then I will share tips. Tip number one. Hey girl, do you know who you are? This is for my teen girls. I'll do reels. I'll do motivational things. I will do posts with pictures of me. I would talk about when I was a teenager to get people's attention. And so when I finally say, guess who has a book coming out? Me. You guessed it, me. And put the information about it, people will be ready to pre-sale. And then I will share that post to people's inbox and say, hey, I remember you commenting on one of my posts about teen girls, and I have a book coming out for teen girls. I'm doing a free Zoom workshop for teen girls. So you are always going to be marketing, and you're always going to be doing something surrounding your book. Okay. So then you want to choose your printing source. I gave y'all three. You want to choose, and it's so many more, but you want to choose your printing source. Those are just like some of the most popular ones that you could self-publish through. And once you choose your printing source, you want to create your own account. I created a separate email just for when I am doing books, publishernina@gmail.com. So anytime I'm doing books, I know to go to there. I know all of my identifiers account is through there. I know my Amazon account is through there. My Ingram Sparks account is through there. I keep all of my publishing stuff. When I even deal with clients, it's all through that one email address so that I'm not confused as to where else people could be sending stuff, or I could have had an account here or there. So keep it clean, y'all. Keep it clean. And so once you upload, start everything, make sure your manuscript is prepared, save it in a Word document and PDF. Because when you're uploading it, Word or EPUB, you can also save it in EPUB if you decide to do an ebook. For your paperback book, you're gonna need for your paperback book, you're gonna need PDF for your cover and for your manuscript. But for your book cover, you're going to need PDF for the print book, but you're going to need a JPEG or something like that for your cover. And typically it's just the front cover, not the full cover for your ebook if you decide to do an ebook. Most of the time when you get to the ending process, or like on Amazon, once your paperback book is published, it will ask you if you want to convert it to an ebook as well and have you to upload the Word document. Through Ingram Sparks, I believe it have you to upload the EPUB and the JPEG for that. So after you launch your book, once you upload it to print, you order you one copy first so that you can see how it looks to make sure it looks exactly how you want it to look. Once you do that, you're ready to order your bulk books and you're ready to launch your book. So I'm gonna go through these steps again, and then I'm gonna stop the recording because if you're live, you get questions. If you're not live, you can holler at me. Decide you want to become an author. Decide what you want to write about. Begin writing. Remember, go back and watch. There's no perfect way to write, whether you're writing an outline, whether you're writing your in order. You just got to begin writing, and you can put it all in order once you write. Write until you're finished is the goal. And my other tip that I always say is 10 minutes a day, take the writing pain away. If you could dedicate 10 minutes a day to writing, you will write way more than you think. I promise you. And sometimes those 10 minutes get real good to you, and you look up and you've been writing for an hour. Create your release plan. When are you going to release this book? All right. If I'm giving myself at least 6 months, I'm planning 3 months to have my manuscript done. With just 10 minutes a day, you will get a lot done. And you can have a free day up in there where you don't write. Hire an editor and a graphic designer so somebody can look at your work. Even if you feel you're excellent at writing and excellent at editing, always have somebody else to look at yourself. Even if you're going through Grammarly. Yep. You can go through Grammarly too. They have a free version. I'm telling you all how to publish a book on a shoestring budget. Okay, you better take these notes. You can go to Grammarly. If you can't pay a human being, go to Grammarly. Obtain your ISBN and barcode through myidentifiers.com. Format your book. And most books are done in a 6x9 format. You do have the 8.5 by 11. Some devotionals are smaller, 5x5, 5.5 by 5.5. You could go on whatever printing site you want to print your book from and see the sizes that they accept. And that way you make sure your book is already in line with that. 6x9 is typical book size. So most printing sources, if not all, do accept 6x9 books. So then you're formatting your book. You want to start your pre-sales. You want to market your book from the beginning to past the end. Never stop talking about your book. Listen, this publishing book I've been working on is coming out this month. Next month, I'm going to still be talking about it. February, March, April, May, I'm still going to be talking about it because it's going to be relevant for anybody and everybody. Upload your book to your printing source, launch your book, copyright your book, and never stop the momentum. Never ever stop the momentum. Your first book should still be talked about when your 10th book come out. Okay? I'm actually getting ready to relaunch my first book and do a whole new thing because that book is 11 years old next month. So I'm going to relaunch that book and do a whole another workshop and stuff just about it's called Because I Love Me. And it talks about the things that I went through the process of learning to love me. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to get back to that book. And in order, I'm going to go back and have a month where I talk about each one of my books. I got like 20 some books. So I got to choose a month for each book and just keep the momentum going. Now, I do want to share with you that there's no excuse for you not to write a book. You absolutely can do it. I gave you some simple steps. I gave you exactly, if you take these steps and do exactly what I told you to do, you could publish a book. So you might be saying, okay, well, Nina, you offer a class, a book, and all this other stuff. Why you give us so much information? Because I gave you the cliff notes and the short version. And so if you want some assistance, I highly recommend my You Can Publish Mastermind. You do not have to meet with me on Zoom or any of those things. All you have to do is sign up and you can watch the modules at your own time. There are about, I think, 5 modules already uploaded. By the end of this month, there will be about 15 modules. And in each module, I will be taking you step by step. I go through some of these same things. A lot of my documents from my book is uploaded as downloadable, printable documents in the book. In the classes. And so I use Thinkific, kind of like Teachable, and you're able to take the modules at your own pace. And most modules are, I try to keep them 10 minutes or less, but some of them kind of go about 15, 20 minutes because I don't want to shortchange any module. And so we go through creating a plan. We go through, I take you step by step on how to, step by step on formatting. There's actually going to be a video of me showing you how to upload your book to Amazon and to Ingram Spark. So you have somebody that's actually showing you step by step. You know how we go to YouTube and we type in how to do something and we watch the video, then we go back and do it? Well, with my class, you're able to do that as well. So I literally hold your hand. I show you how to format. So in one of the screen shares, I'm showing you how I format in Microsoft Word, how I go through it all, how I change it to PDF. When I say I hold your hand through the process, I hold your hand through the entire process. And so if you're interested, right now the class is still at a discounted rate. It is $127 and it will be $197 by the end of the week. And by the end of the month, it's going up to its regular price of $297. And so I can't keep keeping it short, cheap, but I gotta give you all time to grab it. And if you watch this video and you reach out to me via email at youcancoach2@gmail.com, I am more than willing to give you the original discount rate of $97. But if you go on my website and you click get started, you're going to pay the $127 because it's going to lead you straight to my Thinkific site. And there's even like a sample lesson on there, but it's very basic. This one gives you more than that one did. Than that sample lesson do. And so after all of this, I definitely hope I prove to myself, to you, that I know what I'm talking about, y'all. There are testimonials on my YouTube page as well. If you go to ninaaddison.com/YouTube, if you go to youtube.com/Nina Motivates or type in Nina Motivates on YouTube, I do author interviews. I have authors that I have taught this same step-by-step process with, and they are now published authors of several books, some of several books. Some have just published their first book in 2024, but you absolutely can go and check me out, okay? You can fact check me. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. So if you want to sign up for You Can Publish the Mastermind and have a lifetime guarantee, lifetime membership to be able to go back and watch the modules whenever you want, download the handouts whenever you want, you can go to ninaaddison.com and right there you can sign up. Also, if you want a copy of the manual for the $30, same website, ninaaddison.com. You click on motivational tools. And under there, there's some free downloads. I don't know how many, it may be one or two, it should be two, but it may be one. I got to upload the other one. Some free downloads of different things, but also you can order the You Can Publish Master Manual right there for $30. Also, the last thing I want to offer you all, I had to have my little cheat notes here because I'll be talking forever and forget. I want to let you know that I am doing 2 book collaborations, one with youth and one with adults. Same book, different age groups. The title of the book is Dear God. So basically, it's letters to God written in your own way. It could be you praising God, you asking God, just you writing a letter of emotion to God, and it's going to be used as a devotional. So it's going to be 30 people in the youth version and 30 people in the adult version. Youth version is for ages 9 to 17. The adult version is 18 and older. I already have people from previous books signing up, and they've shared the news with some of the other people, and they're signing up. But I sometimes forget how many people I say. So one of my books, it was only supposed to be 30 people, ended up being 33. So I have to be mindful and stop once I get to 30 youth and 30 adults. And here's the kicker. I normally charge $400 for my book collaborations, and trust me, with the $400, people get way more than they bargain for. But for this one, I am only charging $100, and you still can make money from the book. That's one thing about my collaborations. You buy the collaboration, if you're a part of the collaboration, you buy the book at the wholesale rate, and you get a chance to sell it at the market rate, meaning you get to make money. And if you buy it at the wholesale rate from me in the beginning, all you have to do is sell 10 books to get your money back. Okay? That's how dope this project is. So if you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to me. And I believe you can go to ninaaddison.com for that too. I believe that's already on my website. But no, because I haven't released it, it may not be on my website. But again, if you email me at youcancoach2@gmail.com, I can send you the direct link where you can get more information about this book collaboration. This will be collaborations number 9 and 10. Y'all, I have done this for years. Actually, collaboration started in 2020. So in 5 years, I will have 10 collaborations. 2 collaborations were just with youth. The other 6 was with adults. I have one with just men, one with just women. The other ones are both with both men and women. And I have some authors that come no matter what collaboration I'm doing, because I make sure I lead with integrity, because I don't want God get me first. And I want to make sure that everybody feels like the star that they are. And you are absolutely a star. So if you want to write a book in 250 words or less, you don't have to pay for the editing, because I get that done. You don't have to pay for the ISBN and barcode, because I get that done. I get all of those things done for you, and you become an instant author for only $100. So if you are interested, definitely reach out to me for that as well. And I just want to thank everybody for watching the replay, and thank everybody for tuning in live. I'm going to stop the recording so that now I can attend to any questions that may be in the audience. All right. Talk to y'all soon.